Hello, happy Friday. My name is Michael Leeserman here with the Trial Guide's tip of the day. It is December 6th, 2024. Today's tip comes from Jesse Wilson's book, Witness Preparation: How to Tell the Winning Story. Here to read the tip is Jesse Wilson. Welcome.
Thank you, Michael, for having me.
Read the tip today, please.
I'm going to read the tip for the day. Here we go. And I'm going to do it with the emotion of what I'm going to be talking about here. Joy, the emotional state of joy, is the cord that binds you to the listener, and vice versa. Fear pushes the listeners away. Joy unites. Why? Because joy is what we treasure the most. Joy is something we never want to be robbed of. Joy is priceless.
Joy. So, this is something that probably is counterintuitive for many lawyers. You know, if you're in a death case, a quadriplegia, or even if it's uh, let's say a case where someone has neck pain, um, you're afraid of bringing joy, right? Because this is serious, and yet it's important. Tell us more about that.
How can I show joy? Why would I want to show the jurors joy? Because they're going to think that my client is doing really, really good. I'm all the fear around it. Yeah, it's so counterintuitive, Michael. I'll poll lawyers all the time. What do you feel is the greatest emotion to fear? The greatest feared emotion in the courtroom? Well, I hear anger and anxiety and judgment of jurors and God, what happens if I lose and if I fail and perfectionism? Yeah, sure. The top, if you really, really get down to it, the top fear that I see, whether lawyers are conscious of this or not, many of them aren't. The top fear that I see is joy, the ability to express genuine joy. When the lawyer shifts their mindset to, I can't wait to tell you about this person's strength, that's a joyful act. But most of the time, what you're seeing is the lawyer coming in going, what happened to them is just so awful. And they need a lot of money and help. Yeah, they need a lot of money and help. And yeah, what happened to them is awful. It's the worst damn thing in the world. It's a nightmare you wouldn't want to wish on anybody. But look what they're doing. I can't wait to tell you about what they're doing despite what's been taken from them. When you shift yourself to that energy, now we end up feeling what's been taken from them at an even greater level through the investment that you make in joy. Deposit joy, withdraw the pain.
I love the example you just gave because it was your words, it was your intonation, and it was your body that shifted when you smiled and said, "But I can't wait to tell you." And then there's rapport. Then there's jurors are listening. I want to hear
That's right.
more.
That's right. I spent all day yesterday with a group of witnesses, a family devastated, horrific trucking crash, Michael. And they finally were ready. They were ready for deposition. And our mantra, and I suggest this to everybody, no matter what the loss is, what they're talking about their loved one. In this case, it was their mother. I had them all stand around in a circle. And their words were, let me tell you about my mother. Let me tell you about my mother. Until they got themselves to a place where they were smiling, they were moving forward in their chair as opposed to looking like, they were in an interrogation versus a conversation, because they got themselves to the greatest superpower there is in the courtroom, and that's joy. Let me tell you about my mother. Has a real energy to it. And now I wouldn't say you're invincible, but you've got one hell of a tool in your disposal to be able to combat that fear and the anxiety that we see, of course, in many witnesses, and that's trusting joy.
Yeah, and I just want to underscore that for a minute. We worked on a case together, and the client uh, had great stories and was telling those stories. And then when we role played, okay, let's take you to the courtroom. Let's dress you up the way you're going to dress. Let's actually have someone play the lawyer on the other side. You know, tell me about your son. Then all of a sudden, closed off. So it's important to not just let me tell you about my mother, but to actually make sure it's our job as the lawyer, the director of the story of the trial, to make sure that in to use all the theater terms, in costume, in at the exact set, like, with the right characters that the person's gonna come through with the story. That's part of our job as being the director, right?
Absolutely. There's the story, but my favorite line is, "What's the difference between a great production of Hamlet and a crap production of Hamlet? The words don't change." So they may have a story, but you got to add what I also call, I got names for everything. Yeah, what I also call that second wing of the plane. You got it. It's one thing to have the victor story, but it's another thing to have the second wing of the plane, which is joy. You add that element of joy, and now we're in flight.
Wow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your wisdom and for sharing it with us.
Thank you for having me. As always, Michael. It's great. I love talking to you.
Let's take a deep breath together and be grateful to be alive this Friday. May the work that we do today help to reduce the suffering in the world, in our own lives, in our clients' lives, in the lives of everyone we touch. May we repair the world with the work we do. May we accomplish justice with the work that we do. May we fiercely and compassionately champion our clients' causes. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now. This can take you into a meditation practice, a prayer practice, or just let the sounds wash over you and remind you, I'm alive. It's Friday. Go out, do good things, have a great day, have a great weekend, and have fun while you're doing it.